Welcome back to the Mindful Presenter Truth series. Today I'd like to share Truth 5. Truth 5 is this: when it comes to presenting, particularly business presenting, informed and engaged just isn't enough. Informed and engaged just isn't enough. If you set out making that your sole intention for your audience, to inform them and engage them, it's a reasonable start, but on its own it's not enough. Let me explain. A Mindful Presenter, every one-to-one personal intensive coaching session that we have, every workshop, whether it's in-house in the corporate environment, public, whether it's a masterclass, whether we're talking to lots and lots of people, we make it our business to personalize, to tailor our message as best we can. One of the ways of helping us to do that is we send everybody that we're working with or going to work with an online questionnaire. There are a series of questions that allow for some pretty deep introspection, thought-provoking questions. One of the first and most important questions on that questionnaire is this: how do you want your audience to feel? Now, that's a critical question. It's at the heart of everything we passionately believe, say, share and do at Mindful Presenter. We've built the entire business philosophy around how do we connect with people and how do we make them feel. Sadly, a vast number of professionals at all levels across all industries, they answer that really important question with words like informed and engaged. There's no emotional context to informed and engaged, and it's a prerequisite, it's a given. I can't imagine going to any presentation anywhere in any circumstances where as a starting point I need to at least inform and engage them. Wouldn't you agree that you would expect that from anybody presenting to you? You'd expect that from me today. So on its own, it's not enough. There has to be something else. We call it, what do you want people to feel? It's the distinction between the intellectual understanding, so people get it. We're sharing sometimes complex, dry, technical information. We're professionals in business, so we have to be professional. We have to get that across intellectually so people really understand it. That's fine. But unless there's a bridge to the emotional connection, people are less likely to remember what you say. We're emotional beings. The starting point then is, before you begin to even craft your presentation, long before you open your laptop, you have to have clarity of your intention. What is it you want your audience to feel? Do you know? You see, because in the absence of that clarity, in the absence of that knowledge, you won't feel it. And you need to feel it yourself, because they will see it if you feel it. If you don't feel it, they won't see it, and they certainly won't feel it. So we have to be clear on what is it we want. Talking about that questionnaire, it wasn't so long ago I had the opportunity of working with the executive team of a really interesting brand. But we fell at the first hurdle. Here's why. The first person to respond to that questionnaire online for me was the MD, the managing director, who was going to be the most senior person in the room, together with his colleagues. His answer to that particular question staggered me. I still think about it to this day. He said, I don't care how they feel, as long as they do what I tell them to do. Can you imagine? Needless to say, I immediately called the sponsor of that project and declined the opportunity of working with the organization, much to his dismay. But what I said was, if you genuinely don't want people to feel anything, what's the point? It's pointless. Remember, I've said several times in this series, we already live in a world of noise. So it's not enough to inform and engage. What do you want your audience to feel? And how do they want to feel? Do you know? That takes a lot of thought, takes a lot of mindfulness. It's all about feelings. It's all about feelings. That's why I love this picture behind me. I bought this in Hawaii many years ago, but it reminds me of those feelings of love, peace, and compassion. Now, maybe they're not the sort of things you want your audience to feel when you're giving a business presentation, but actually probably wouldn't be a bad start, would it? But even if it isn't, imagine that when you're crafting a presentation and you're feeling maybe a little bit anxious or uncomfortable or uncertain, give yourself the gift of love, peace, and compassion. Informed and engaged isn't enough. Please the next time you prepare a business presentation, ask yourself, what do you really, really, really want your audience to feel? Thank you.